Welcome into McCready and Siskey live stream powered by Rain Total Body Fuel. I'm Neal. That's Tyler here on this Monday, President's Day, February the 19th. Hope everyone's had a good weekend.
It is Daytona Day, baby.
Yep, got the TV on. I'll turn to Daytona when it starts.
Yeah, 3 o'clock.
Got a little Everton and Crystal Palace going on behind us.
You could have given me 1,000 guesses for what EVE and CP stands for, and I couldn't have got it.
You don't think you got neither one of them?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Got some NHL live today, President's Day hockey.
Yeah, a little President's Day stuff. I watched a little bit of the hockey match that was outside yesterday. The Islanders and the Rangers.
Oh, okay. Battle of New York.
Yep.
Where was the game?
I think in MetLife.
Oh, okay.
I had it on silent. I was watching the golf tournament, but had it on silent. But yeah, no, it's good. Daytona Day. We got the Daytona 500 at 3, and then we got the Xfinity race following it. I think it's 7 or 8. It comes on. So back to back, 800 miles of.
You locked in?
I'll be locked into the 500 for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's just my thing, man. You know,
no, I get it.
It's my thing.
100%.
Daytona is kind of a crapshoot a little bit, because of the draft and all that mess, and anybody can win, literally, except for about, you know how you say like, hey, there's only 4 teams that can win the college football playoff or whatever. And Daytona and Talladega probably no joke, probably about 30 of the 36 cars can win the race. Just depends on luck and help and everything else. And avoiding a crash.
I was up here working on 10 Thoughts yesterday, and Talladega Nights was on.
Yes.
It's one of those movies that no matter when it comes on, you're like, oh, son of a bitch, I'm near the next 2 hours of my day.
So we had it in the Cooper Chevrolet chat. Because De Niro Good said, Siskey got me into NASCAR fan after watching that show. Did you get a chance to watch an episode yet?
I haven't yet. I'm going to. It's on my list. I hadn't done it.
It's good timing.
Okay.
It's good timing.
All
right. I almost wanted you to watch at least one episode because you would actually know
who the people are.
Some of the people are out there, and it kind of gets you invested a little bit because it's a behind the scenes kind of. I mean, it's a documentary basically.
Yeah,
it's good.
No, I'm planning to watch it. I just haven't done it.
And you get a.
And I'm not really sure why because I just haven't watched a lot of TV the last few days.
You get a really big appreciation. You know, and you start learning a little bit about everybody. And I mean, even I know as much as I know, I learned some things. But so Ryan Blaney is on the show, and he had a really bad wreck Thursday night in the dual races. And I didn't realize this. You know, they've done so much safety work in the cars.
Yeah. And
they've put them basically in a cocoon that's like, they have room to move, but it's a protective cocoon. When they crash, they move around. There's more body movement in this thing. And they were talking about how many Thursday night, how many drivers had to have shoulder surgery after the season because of hitting.
Oh yeah,
you know,
at
all
that speed.
Yeah, I mean, he hit that thing at 200 miles an hour the other day. That sucked. That was a rough hit. And
they learned a lot from the unfortunate, tragic accident of Dale Earnhardt. Yeah,
ready to roll?
Yeah, let's roll. All right, we'll get a stream started. You know, audio feed started and get rolling here on the show. Thanks for everybody for being with us. Appreciate it here on this Monday. Welcome into episode 153 of McCready and Siskey, powered by Rain Total Body Fuel. I'm Neal McCready. That is Tyler Siskey here on this Monday. It's President's Day. Hope everyone had a good weekend. And as we start to wind down February, get close to March, all that comes with March Madness.
One of my favorite times of the year.
Spring football. Talking spring football. Remember that show on WNSP?
No, I don't.
You don't remember that? I tell the story all the time. When I got to WNSP in Mobile, they said, hey, we might need you to host, talking football in the fall. And I was like, okay, who's that? And it was like Scott Hunter and somebody, Auburn, Alabama.
Yeah.
And they're like, and we have a show in the spring. And I was like, what's it called? And I went, let me guess, talking spring football? And they're like, how'd you know?
But I told y'all, this guy knows his shit.
Yeah.
I told y'all.
So I used to just make fun of it. It was It was Scott Hunter, the former Alabama quarterback. He'd say, "Talking spring football."
Well, Neal,
head over to the captain's table and tell him Scott sent you.
That's good. I can't follow that up, but I'm going to try. Neal, your boy is rocking the peach nectarine.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I don't know if you knew this or not. This is almost like a Chilton County peach in a can.
I've heard. That's what I've heard.
This is on fire. And for those of you that don't like the peach, we need to get your test buds checked out. If you don't like peach, and especially the peach rainstorm, we have to get your taste buds checked out. You know what? Let me tell you what this tastes identical to. It just hit me.
Mm-hmm.
After the 5 cases I've had of this.
Yeah.
You know what just hit me?
What's that?
Did you ever like Jolly Ranchers?
Oh, yeah.
This is 100% identical to a peach Jolly Rancher. That used to be one of my favorite flavors. If you like the peach Jolly Rancher, I mean, that's what it is.
What's your favorite Jolly Rancher?
Man, I like sour apple.
Mm-hmm.
I don't dislike any of the flavors or anything like that. I just like some less than others. I realized the other day.
I like the grape.
So the grape Skittles, I realized the other day eating a bag of Skittles at the ballpark that grape Skittles, I determined that was my favorite Skittle.
Oh, okay.
Like I like those kind of candies, the gummy worms, Sour Patch Kids, not Sour Patch Kids. Is that what they're called? Yeah, Sour Patch Kids.
Mm-hmm.
Between my kids, I have a bunch of that kind of stuff around the house, and I call it taxing my kids. They come in with it, I'm taking half of it.
What's the blue Jolly Rancher? What's it called? It's
they got several.
Yeah,
berry, some kind of berry.
Kind of berry. Yeah, I like the blue one.
Yeah, it was good there.
Yeah, like we said, we're brought to you each and every show, all 153, by our friends at Reign Total Body Fuel. 300 milligrams of natural caffeine, BCAAs, electrolytes, zero sugar. It's got what you need to push the limits and achieve your goals. So please check them out on Instagram at Reign Body Fuel to learn more.
Neal, Cooper Chevrolet chat is already bumping, getting excited for Daytona, talking about some rain. But just to remind everybody, over at Cooper Chevrolet, they have slash prices on over 70 quality pre-owned vehicles. You can go to cooperchevrolet.com/pre-owned. Plus, you can get low 1.9% APR on select certified pre-owned Chevy, Buicks, Toyotas, Jeeps, Nissans, Hondas, and more. Call 256-236-4481, and you can save thousands of dollars when you finance with them. 256-236-4481.
So you had a frozen weekend out at the ballpark.
Neal, it is that time of the year again, my friend.
I was really hoping Saturday, all of last week, I was just kept hoping that I would wake up and it was going to be like a bad dream and that I would be at a soccer game on Saturday night. I wasn't. I was instead at a basketball game, which was not where I wanted to be.
I would have traded with you on Saturday because, Neal, and all the diehard McCready and Siskey fans that we have out there,
yep,
it is travel baseball ick season. It has started. So for the new people we have listening, which I know we got some.
And everything I hear is that travel baseball parents make travel soccer parents look like diplomats.
I will say this. Our group that we have on our team, really cool.
Yeah.
Like that's almost a prerequisite for me to participate. We have a cool group. There is another set of parents that they have a child that's Knox's age and Brock's age. So we already knew each other. So we've been going through this together for a while. So, but we have a really, really chill, cool group of parents. So we don't have any problems with we're the Oxford Royals this year.
I saw the uniforms, the baby blues, right?
You saw them?
I did. I saw a picture of them somewhere, and I was like,
fresh.
I'm kind of jealous of the uni, the pants and everything.
A full baby blue with a navy blue. I mean, it looks just like the old school Royals uniforms. They're fresh.
Do the kids know how lucky they are to have those unis?
All right, so Knox, my 8-year-old, he has. If you have a younger child, and you went through it because you had 2 girls, but I have all boys, so yep. I have an 8-year-old, and the next closest is 16.
Mm-hmm.
So he probably has some lingo and some things that he gets passed down that's probably a little bit advanced for his age. But he came out of the bedroom on Saturday morning and goes, "Man, I look fresh." So he knows. He knew that he was looking good. And I said, well, just make sure that you. And they got a white belt.
Yeah.
Well, hey,
yeah.
my man Drew,
How about that?
Drew's got the uniform combos picked
Because y'all were the Orioles a year ago.
All right, so we've gone through the Orioles. Okay, the Oxford Orioles, worst baseball team that was ever assembled.
Yes.
We couldn't do anything.
Right.
They've worked hard. They practice. It's not because they don't practice. They practice. I give Drew shit all the time because he practices year round. But I was like, we're a professional practice team. But they're all kidding aside, they have gotten better. And I know this is going to shock everybody because it shocked me. I was shocked. The Oxford Royals won the baseball tournament on Saturday.
No way.
I don't know if we've ever won a bracket game.
Wow.
And just ran the whole damn thing, won the whole damn thing. And it's amazing that it's almost like if you hit the baseball and you play defense, you can win games. And at that age,
that's a rule.
8 years old, yeah, it matters. But Neal, it was the first tournament of the year, and it comes with its icks.
Okay.
And I would have icks anyway. I have more icks because this is my third go around with this stuff.
Yeah.
So let's go with ick one.
Okay.
Ick one was we had a grandfather on opposing team. There was some all day there's questionable calls, right? So at this age, which should happen,
yeah,
the umpires reward good plays. Okay, so like if the ball's hitting a hole and the guy spins around and throws a dart to first base and it's a bang bang play, you're out.
Yeah.
You're out.
Yeah.
You're not going to be safe. There is no tie goes the runner. If
Yeah.
it's close, you're out.
Yeah.
They reward good plays.
Yeah.
And so
there was a play on the internet last week where the runner beat the throw by like 12 feet.
No, we're not doing that.
And the umpire called her out.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude just wants to go home.
Yeah. We reward good plays at this age, but it's not bad. So look, they did a great job. The umpires were great. They were there all day. And I probably should start it with this. My first ick was that we were playing the freaking tournament. That's my first ick.
It was cold.
It's Neal.
Too cold.
Neal, I fucking hate cold weather. Okay? We're past 5 minute mark. Is that what you're looking at?
I was just checking. Yeah.
I saw you picking the top.
Oh.
So I hate it, man. I hate it. And it was like, I don't know, mid-30s. It was overcast. And the wind was blowing from the north. And we were in Senatobia right off the interstate. So there's nothing to block the wind. And dude, it was howling. It was miserable. I felt so bad. I can't make this up. We had a kid on our team who played right field. They hit a ball in one of the games, hit a ball to right field. Dude, he's just holding on the ball. And everybody's yelling, throw it in, throw it in. And homie's just circling the bases. His hands were literally frozen open.
Couldn't grab it.
He couldn't grab the baseball. And he was upset because he couldn't do anything with the baseball. He physically could not grab the baseball. So us playing the tournament was stupid.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was my first tick. But we had a grandpa had a close play. And for the most part, parents pretty good, man.
Yeah.
But out of the blue, man, it gets bracket play. Things get ramped up a notch. And it's time
because hey, you hadn't won anything till you won the Senatobia invitation.
Hey, you hadn't won anything till you won one of the rings they come out with. Everybody gets rings too.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny. I joked with my kids the other day. I said, in my first when I made a wheel, which was a big deal back then, I've divvied out my rings from football to my kids because they're probably worth something a little bit and they probably mean something to everybody. But shit, my kids got 87,000 rings from being runner-up in a Senatobia tournament or whatever it is. They don't even value those things. But anyway, he starts yelling at the umpire how, you suck. You suck. And nobody else is even talking. And everybody's kind of like, is he talking to the umpire? This is eight-year-old baseball. I'm cold. I want to go home.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was a bang, bang play, but just yell. He's out.
I mean, listen.
He's out. You suck.
When it's that cold, everybody generally knows if it's close, it's a strike. And if it's close, you're out.
Yeah. Whatever. You're out of here.
And frankly, if it's even kind of close, because we got to get out of here.
Yeah.
Because the umpire's cold.
Yeah. All right. So that's really that's going to be my only parent ick. I got a couple coaching icks.
Okay.
All right. They're 8, Neal.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's do a little bit less coaching and a little bit more encouraging. They're 8. I was cold. I wanted to go home. I wanted the games to get over with.
Yeah.
Between every pitch, I didn't say I've got my one F-bomb in today.
Okay.
Between every effing pitch,
Okay.
we had to call timeout.
No.
And go tell little Johnny, hey, keep your elbow up. Hey, watch the ball all the way to the bat. Well, no shit. I got pissed. And I said, how about just letting them hit? They're 8. Swing hard. Run fast in case you hit it. Like, they're 8. And we're coaching these kids up like, hey, look,
hey,
Alex Anthopoulos may get rid of Snicker in the middle of the season, and I hire you because you are a great hitting coach. Let the kids play the game. Like, we didn't come here to watch you call timeout and walk down the third baseline and take up 10 minutes of telling little Johnny to keep his elbow up.
If little Johnny strikes that, it's gonna be okay.
Hey,
he ain't gonna remember,
and he's not gonna remember. He's probably, you know what little Johnny hears?
He wants to go home.
Do you want me to tell you what little Johnny hears?
Yeah.
Womp 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 womp. I'm cold. I'm hungry. I want a sucker.
Yeah.
I want to go home too.
I hope we're having chicken tenders tonight.
Hey, yeah. Hey, Mom, hey, are we going? It's either frozen nuggets from Tyson.
Yeah.
Or are we going Chick-fil-A nuggets? Which one are we going with tonight? That's what they're thinking about.
Yeah. Are we going to Zaxby's?
Yeah. Where are we going after? Buffalo Wild Wings. That's a travel ball favorite. Just hey, good job, little Johnny. Hey, let's go, babe. You're doing a good job. All right. So that's one. All right. So, all right, here's the next thing. Don't be a CYA coach. All right. So for all you guys out there, CYA means cover your ass coach. All right. I see this a lot. A coach will screw up a kid. I saw this the other day. Kid's running second base. Coach is saying, come on. 8 years old now.
Yeah.
He waits till he gets, I shit you not, Neal, from me to you to third base. And the coach goes, whoa. Go back. Okay, so then the kid goes back to second base and gets thrown out. Okay, I saw that.
Yeah.
Little Johnny comes off. He gets thrown out. He comes jogging off the field past coach. Coach ripping him.
An 8-year-old?
Ripping an 8-year-old.
No.
I was like, no. If you screw up, own it and say, hey, that's my bad. Hey, you're okay.
Yeah.
Hey, because look, I've coached third base a lot. And I don't believe in the stop sign, but we're running.
Yeah.
Okay, we're running. We're going to make you throw us out. If you get thrown out, hey, parents, y'all leave him alone. That's on me. That's my fault. Hey, I screwed him up. That's my fault. Don't do the stop him 2 feet before third base and tell him to go back. We don't do that. And then yell and try to make a point. Like, I didn't tell you to do that. The hell you did. I just saw you do it. Like trying to say in front of the parents, I didn't screw it up. It was little Johnny. No, it was your fault. So that bothered me. That was it. And then the last thing, and this really, really irritates me beyond all get off. And there's going to be people on here that probably agree with this. I think this is complete bullshit. I cannot stand. You know where I'm going with this, don't you?
I think so.
I cannot stand. There's time limits on these games, okay? It's at the end of the game, and you got, man, how much, and you never fails. It's the coach that goes, how much time we got left? It's that guy. How much time we got left? We got 4 minutes, and you look up, and you got one out, and you know, man. So if I'm hitting, I'm like, hey, time. Hey, little Johnny, listen. I'm up here, I'm talking to you. I'm trying to kill some time so we can win the game. Or I've seen this happen to me one time when I was coaching my son's team. I think this was last year, the year before last. Opposing coach changed pitchers 6 times in the last inning to not go to the next inning.
Come on.
Change pitchers 6 times. All right. So don't be that guy. I think it teaches the kids shortcuts. We actually had a coach in this tournament that the way the rules are and they run the bases, he was trying to tell the kids to give the ball to the umpire or to the other coach instead of playing baseball. How about let's learn how to get them out, or let's learn how to do it playing baseball. I don't believe in teaching kids shortcuts on how at 8 years old on how to cheat. Winning is not that important at 8 years old. Yeah, let's all win, but let's don't start those kind of habits early.
It doesn't matter at 8.
So those are my icks from this weekend.
All
I
right.
think I'll have to check with Drew. I see Drew's in chat, so he's probably in here saying Drew did good. Our guys did good. Because if they screw it, I'll give them shit. But I don't think we have a tournament this weekend. I think Drew's trying not to kill me. So He's a big Ole Miss baseball fan too. So if Ole Miss is playing baseball in town, I think our schedule runs around that. So
we don't have life advice today, but when we do, it's brought to you by Cole Walters.
That should have been life advice.
Could have been. Well, we'll call it that. It's been brought to you by Cole Walters, State Farm Insurance. Cole is licensed in auto, home, life, health, business, and pet insurance for the whole state of Georgia. Contact Cole at 706-525-7850. You can also find him at ColeWaltersInsurance.com. We're also brought to you by Factor. Factor's delicious, ready-to-eat meals make eating better every day easy. Whatever tomorrow takes you, get ready with pre-prepared, chef-crafted, dietitian-approved meals delivered right to your door. You'll have more than 35 different options a week to choose from, including keto, calorie smart, vegan plus, veggie, and more. There's even more to enjoy with more than 55 nutrition-packed add-ons that help make your weekly meal planning even more delicious. So what are you waiting for? Get started today. Have a good week of meals ready to go. They got the 2-minute meals, snacks, smoothies, and more. You can sign up and save. They've done the math. Factor is less expensive than takeout. Every meal is dietitian approved to be nutritious and delicious. It's the perfect solution if you're looking for fast, upscale options done easy. It's flexible for your schedule, too. Get as much or as little as you need by choosing 6 to 18 meals per week. Plus, you can pause or reschedule your deliveries anytime. No prep, no mess meals. Factor meals are 100% ready to heat and eat, so there's no prepping, cooking, or cleanup needed. Head to factormeals.com/MPW50 and use the code MPW50 to get 50% off. Again, that's code MPW50 at factormeals.com/MPW50 to get 50% off.
All right, in the Cooper Chevrolet chat, I gotta say this for move on. My man Drew, I just looked down and saw it was not Drew. Drew wanted me to make sure in the chat that everybody knew that was not him. He did not receive any of the Drew does a great job. Drew's our pitcher.
Yeah.
Sometimes when we need to lose a game or something to get I always mess with Drew. This is how serious I am about 8-year-old baseball. If we can lose a game and get the first game in the tournament so we can get out there a little earlier, I'd be like, Drew, need a little two-seam action going on right here. So we can strike out the side.
Yeah, get a little move.
Drew will pump it up, get us out there early.
Yeah.
I won't tell the parents you do that, Drew. That's mine and Drew's signal.
Y'all's a secret.
Yep. All right. I want to I know I told this on your board the other day. But I obviously know we have a ton of people that listen that don't participate. What did you say?
I'm laughing at Drew in the chat. Go ahead.
He's serious. Something that happened last Thursday. So we had our show on Thursday, and we had to go do the miracle. Imagine this: Drew had us a practice game last Thursday. So I had a baseball game at 5:30 with Knox, and then Knox had a basketball game at 7:30.
Yeah.
So we go do that. We're rushing between to get them there. From baseball, changing clothes, getting into basketball's last basketball game of the year for those guys. And on our team, on Knox's basketball team, one of the Ole Miss assistants' son is on our team. Good player.
All right.
Great guy. And then I don't want to out them who they are in case they want that stuff private. But
right.
On the other team was another Ole Miss assistant. His son was on the other team.
Oh.
And so it was the first time we'd played them. It was the last game of the year.
Think they had a wager on that?
Probably. But I saw probably, and I want to kind of say this publicly because they didn't go there with any kind of public intention. They didn't do any social media post or anything like that. So it was very genuine. You know what I mean? Like, you see people do things like that, and they got to have the Twitter out. Hey, look at me. Look what I'm doing today.
Oh, yeah.
But this wasn't for Twitter. It wasn't for anything, but it was very genuine. So we get there, and Chris Beard, the entire basketball staff, and the entire basketball team come to this game. It's Thursday night at 7:30 at the local park. Okay.
Yeah.
They all come together. They made it so fun for the kids. One of the other team's coach didn't show up, so two of the younger coaches, allegedly, I don't know if it's legal or not, coached the other 8-year-old team. One of the young GAs gets out there and makes everybody stand, and he sings the national anthem to start the game at a little park deal. And the entire staff and everybody was there. And I'm talking about they had air horns. I mean, they were loud. They were cheering for the kids. It was really cool.
Oh, that's cool.
And then for my kid, my 8-year-old, it made his life, man.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he got to play basketball in front of Chris Beard.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
he's big. My son's a big Ole Miss fan.
Yeah.
And so it made his life, man. All of his favorite players were over there. You know, he sees, Alex Flanagan over there, and he's like, "Hey, Dad," it's really cool. And to not do it to get attention, makes it even cooler. And as a coach, this is something I noticed that really was big time for me. And I look because I was like, I know how I would be. I'm just being honest, how I would have been if I was in that situation.
Easy to pull out that phone.
Not one coach or person pulled out a phone and ever looked at their phone the entire hour they were over there.
No, that's super cool.
So they were engaged. It was just something that was it stuck out to me. And whether he wins a bunch or loses every game from here on out, Chris Beard and his staff will always have a fan in me because
he's the real deal.
And it's beyond, for me though, it's beyond basketball.
Oh, that's what I'm saying.
You know what I'm saying?
No,
that
absolutely.
means that's a character.
Yep.
That tells a lot about who you are.
Mm-hmm.
I respect the shit out of that. So that was really impressive. All right, just want to tell that to everybody that didn't get to see that story earlier. All right, Neal, I want to do something in honor of this. Is like when I usually start doing basketball. Now that football's over, but I've been in it the whole year this year because of my criteria club.
Yeah.
So we got 3 weeks left in regular season.
Yep.
And I want to do, since 99% of our base, or I'd say 95% of our base is SEC based, I want to do an SEC, and this is with you. You cover the sport. You cover Ole Miss. I watch every game.
Mm-hmm.
I want to do a 3 weeks left in the regular season, and we're going to treat every team like they're stocks, okay? And I'm going to ask you, are you buying, are you selling, or are you just holding on to it?
Okay.
All right? And there's no particular order here. I just wrote them down as they came to my head. All right, the Auburn Tigers. We'll go the West first.
I'm buying. Not tons of it, but I'm buying it. I like their team. Jalen Williams' injury is not severe. He's going to be back in a couple of weeks. I'm buying Auburn.
I was by Auburn. I think I'm hold Auburn because of the injury.
Yeah.
I guess he's out for the rest of the regular season.
I said 2 weeks. Might be back for the last week of the regular season.
I want to see him get back, but the one thing they do have is they have depth. They have a lot of dudes that play.
They have a lot of dudes
that score.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question about Auburn and basketball moving forward, because this is what I'm getting into is when it comes to tournament time, a lot of it's who's getting hot at the right time of the year.
Sure.
Does it concern you how different they've been at home and away?
Yes.
And when you start going into neutral courts.
They're far from alone in that category, though. I mean, that is something that's super pervasive in college basketball this year, the home road splits. So Auburn has lots of company in that room.
Yeah, but they seem more than others. The split seems further than others to me. Like they beat South Carolina by 40 at home and lose by 40
I mean, they have a real home court advantage, which is why the Kentucky win was so impressive for Kentucky.
Yeah.
I mean, Auburn's really, really good at home, but they've been pretty good on the road too. I mean, they've done some things on the road. So I'm buying.
You buying? I'm going to hold.
Okay.
All right, the Alabama Crimson Tide.
I'm buying it.
I am buying it.
Buying it. They can score in so many ways. They're a better defensive team than they get credit for. And when you score the way they score, you don't have to be a great defensive team. The only thing that would scare me about Bama in the tournament is if they played a team that could get it into a slog, and if they played a team that the refs let the game get kind of physical, where Bama got bullied a little bit, because their offense, they'll get to the free throw line a million times. I mean, look, it's this way for every team with the possible exception of Connecticut in the tournament. You are a bad draw away from disaster.
Yeah, I'd say them in Houston.
Yeah, maybe Houston too. Interested to see Houston tonight at Iowa State.
Yeah, no, they're at home.
Is it home?
Because they are in the criteria.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Oh. Alabama, I'm buying as well, and here's why. I've always said that, once Alabama doesn't shoot well in a game because they give up a ton of points, but hell, I'm still saying it, and we're 3 weeks later, they just keep doing it. It's kind of like South Carolina. At some point in time, you had to give them a little bit of credit. They just keep doing it. I'm buying Alabama. They can just freaking score, man. Jeez.
Oh no, they're legit.
All right, Texas A&M. I'm interested to see your deal here.
kind of holding. They're a little inconsistent. I love Taylor. I think Radford's a good player. I think Buzz is a terrific coach. I just don't know that they have the inside presence that you need to make a real run. So I'm probably holding. They're solid, but I don't know. Hold/sell.
Texas A&M. I am on a. I guess I'm where I'm. I'm a hold/sell. I'm probably closer to the sell than I am holding, but I just keep waiting. It's the end of the year. Now's the time.
Yeah,
and I've been waiting for this build, and
sometimes button. Sometimes you hit the button and it doesn't open.
I thought they had a moment a couple of weeks ago with Tennessee, and then it's just.
But kind of everybody's had that moment this year. Everybody gets a moment, where they win a game and stuff. But you got to build on. You got to be more consistent.
Do they make the tournament?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. All right, which that means probably the last game of the regular season will probably hold some water here because the next team is Ole Miss.
Kind of selling.
I'm holding.
I mean, you could talk me into holding. I don't know that you could talk me into buying. I don't like their defense lately. I'm not crazy about their body language the last few games. They look tired. They're not. They're struggling to get Murray going the way that he was going. The other night they turned it over. They really played with fire against Missouri. I mean, they put their hand right up on top of the stove.
They did.
And I don't know. The schedule's not favorable, man. They got to go to State Wednesday night. They got South Carolina. They still got Bama. Still got A&M at home. I'm a little concerned for them on the trip to Georgia. I mean, they got to play better, bottom line. And in the last 4 games or so, they haven't played so well.
I have and it hasn't fixed itself. There is a particular player that plays a lot that I don't think plays with great effort. And that bothers the shit out of me. It really bothers me.
There was a closeout. If we're talking about the same player, there was a closeout Saturday night that there wasn't a lot of effort in it. And I was like, dude, you gotta want it a little more than that.
Well, and then like if he turns the ball over or he misses an easy shot, he loafs on the back end and it creates numbers on transition, and it puts them in bad position. And then they're working on 5-on-4 and they get a kick for a 3 or whatever, but it affects the whole game. And for me, and I saw it. It's what got Memphis yesterday. Memphis looked like that was the worst effort I've ever seen on a basketball team.
They're poorly coached.
And if you can't,
Memphis is poorly coached. The reason that you could talk me into holding on Ole Miss is because they're really well coached. Memphis is poorly coached.
Yeah, and it almost. I wish Beard had somebody. I wish Beard had somebody that could take the guy's minutes because I think he would do it if he had an option.
Yeah.
But anyway, long story short is, I'm holding. Just because I'm holding because of the entirety of the season. I think they got 6 games left. I think they could go 3-3 and win the right games in that 3-3 and get in. Or they have to win. Like if they beat Alabama at home, and they go 3-3, they're going to get in.
That's a bad loss in the mix. Well, we'll see. Yeah. Look, they need to win one of the 3 games between Mississippi State, South Carolina, and Alabama.
Agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, agree.
And then they can't lose one of the others.
Yes.
And they got to beat A&M at home.
Yep. All right, Mississippi State.
I'm probably buying a little, maybe, perhaps. I don't know. They
got an easier schedule.
They played with fire on Saturday night too.
They did. They were in the Criteria Club.
Their hand was all over the top of the stove.
I was about to be very upset because they were in the Criteria Club and they tried to mess that one around.
Yeah, they tried to. But you could talk me into buying.
I would buy towards getting to the tournament. I don't think it goes much further than that.
No.
I don't think they're a second weekend team.
No.
All right, Arkansas. This one's going to be pretty easy.
Yeah, Miss Selling. I mean, they're done.
They're done, huh?
Yeah, they're done. I think he's leaving. I think he's the next Eric Musselman. I think he's the next coach at Louisville.
Okay.
I mean, there's a lot of people inside basketball circles who believe that deal is essentially done.
I'd believe it. That's what I know they have their moments, but geez, my Christmas. All right, the LSU Bengal Tigers.
Buying.
I don't think they're going to make the tournament, but I'm buying too.
Buying. In fact, their last 5 games are all super winnable. They steal one, and all of a sudden they get interesting. Their metrics are not good. But I tell you what, I had on the on Hand Raise Guys a couple weeks ago, I had Blake Lovell on from Southeastern 14, and Blake knows SEC basketball.
Yeah,
now.
He's good.
And he was, at the time, LSU wasn't doing anything. It was keep an eye on LSU. There's some positive signs there. And I was like, okay, I'll make a mental note of that. And sure enough, they're doing some good things. He's a good coach now. In a league full of good coaches, he's a good coach. They're one to watch for down the road as a program. Yeah, they're interesting. They started really slow, got some guys eligible. They would be a fascinating team if they got to 10-8, 11-7 in the league. Even though their metrics wouldn't be awesome, I would wonder if some of the people on the committee were like, "Hey, let's look at what they've done since January." But I don't know. We'll see.
All right, let's go to the East. Georgia Bulldogs.
I'm selling. I mean, they're trying hard. They might win a game or two, but they just can't win. They've played so many of the same game where they play a close game and they just kind of can't finish it.
They get down and then find a way to stay. I mean, they're competing.
Yeah,
for sure. They're not quitting. They're competing. I'm selling from a long-term standpoint from this year, but I do like the way I like watching them play. I think they compete and they try.
Yeah.
I like that.
I mean, listen. I'll give credit to a number of teams in that boat. Missouri played really hard the other night.
They haven't quit.
Arkansas played really hard at Mississippi State with every reason in the world not to. So, yeah, I mean, look, it's a good league. I mean, I'm not going to be the guy that goes, "It's the best league ever," and top to bottom, boy. It's not that. But there are some there. It is a league where there aren't many teams that if you don't show, you can beat them.
Yeah, I know the answer to this one. This is where you send all your NIL collective money to. The Florida Gators.
Oh, I'm buying. I mean, good thing I'm buying because I've been sending all my money there.
I'm trying to recoup your investment.
Buying it. Do you know how close they are to 10-2 in the league?
Yeah.
I mean, they are close to 10-2 in the league. Yeah, I'm buying.
If you told me right now, pick an SEC team that makes a run in the tournament that we're not talking about, this one's it.
Yes.
This one's it.
If I can't have Alabama, Kentucky, Auburn, Tennessee, this is it. This is 5. Yes, 100%.
I think I would take them going deeper than Kentucky at this point in time. I know Kentucky's getting hot.
Yeah, we'll talk about Kentucky in a minute. Yeah,
we'll talk about them next. But I don't know, man. They're consistent and they're consistently getting better.
Yeah,
I like Florida. I'm buying. Kentucky Wildcats, Big Blue Nation.
A week ago I was selling. Now I'm buying. I want to see what they do this week.
But I think a week ago I asked you if is Cal in trouble,
and he was. Well, look, here's the thing, and you do this in sports. Something that's true on Monday isn't always true on Thursday.
I know it breaks every rule I've ever thought about in my life. But
stuff changes. For whatever reason, last week he got guys to play. Multiple guys played different, and they routed Ole Miss. And everybody goes, "Well, it's just Ole Miss. They've hit the wall." And then they go to Auburn and beat the hell out of Auburn in Auburn, which nobody does. And you're like, "Well, hold up." It's time to pay attention to this.
They held Auburn to the third lowest shooting percentage since Pearl's been there, and the first 2 were in 2016. So it's the lowest shooting that Auburn has had since how many years is that now? Is that by the old math 8 years? It's 8 years.
I wonder why more teams don't play corners defensively like this, where you put somebody on both. See how they got guys on both posts? So it makes the area that the goalkeeper has to defend shorter.
Yeah, I don't. You got me on that one, boss. That's you and Carson will have to let me know how that works out.
Yeah.
Soccer strategy is not in my bag of tricks. Missouri Tigers, I think we're both selling there.
Yeah.
And there's nothing to do there.
Yeah. All right. I'll tell you this. They got East back the other night.
Mm-hmm.
And if they play as hard as they played the other night,
think they'll get 1 or 2?
Everybody better be careful because you don't want to be the one they get because it's a net killer.
Yeah.
That's one of the games on Ole Miss's schedule that you got to look at and go, "Hey, fellas,
figure it out."
Figure it out.
All right, this is one I'm interested in. South Carolina Gamecocks.
Selling. I think they're regressing to the mean right now.
You said it's coming. You've been saying it was coming. I just didn't see it drop off that fast. It's something happened when they went to Auburn and got annihilated. It almost like they had a hangover from that. They look like shit Saturday.
They almost lost at Ole Miss at home.
Yeah.
Probably should have had Ole Miss not played such a horrendous first half. I mean.
And then didn't Ole Miss go like last 4 minutes without hitting a field goal or something too?
Yeah.
I'm selling. I think I'm with you. I think the regression is here. I still think they'll make the tournament. They've done enough to make the tournament, barring some kind of crazy collapse where they lose 6 in a row and get ousted in the first round. But I think they're in. But I wouldn't look for them to go. This is one of those games. They get in. Let's say they get in as a 7-8 seed. I'm probably picking them to lose the first round in the NCAA tournament if things don't change.
Agreed.
All right, the Tennessee Vols.
Buying still.
Dude.
Still very solid team.
Dude, they're good, man.
Very solid team.
They're good.
If they get the right draw, I think everybody's going to do the same thing. Rick Barnes, second round Rick. Okay, cool. But if they get the right draw,
I don't think second round Rick's coming to play this year.
I think they're a second weekend team.
I do too. I wouldn't be surprised if they're a Final Four team.
No, I wouldn't either.
All right, Vandy.
Sell. Bye.
All right.
No stock.
All right. I'm using that because I want to pivot that to that because that's why I put them last. I got a couple of NIL questions for you.
Okay.
Discussion we haven't really talked about.
Okay.
And I want to get your opinion on it.
Mm-hmm.
And something I've been thinking a lot about, especially as baseball season transitions in and we've gone from football to basketball, now getting into baseball.
Mm-hmm.
In today's world of NIL and collectives, in your opinion, do you think it's realistic for a athletic department to be competitive in all 3 major sports?
In general,
Mm-hmm.
no. I mean, are there exceptions to that? Sure. There are a few places that have really deep pockets where maybe you have a booster who's willing to, or a company, in LSU's case with, what's the name of the bat, DeMarini?
Mm-hmm.
Where you have a business that's basically willing to fund a sport that sort of takes it out of the purview where you can figure out the rest. But as a rule, no, I think you've got some decisions to make. And the big decision that has to be made by a lot of these programs, especially the programs that are in the Power 2, is simply this. It's very simple. Can you afford to not be a contender for the college football playoff? That is the question you have to ask. If you're in the room, you have to say, okay, we've got this pie. Call it whatever kind of pie you want to call it.
Peanut butter.
Peanut butter pie.
It's my favorite.
Okay, peanut butter pie. We've got this peanut butter pie. That's all the pie we've got right now. So make another pie is not an option for this conversation. This is our pie. Behold. There it is.
You put whipped cream on it?
Sure.
Okay.
Put whipped cream on it. But all you've got is this pie. Okay?
All right.
How much of this pie are we giving to football? Because I can justify give the whole pie to them. Give it to them. Now you got to go to the playoff. But if you go to the playoff, it's probably worth it. Who cares? Now, okay. So if I'm the guy that's in the room and I'm like, okay, yeah, that's cool, but we're not going to the playoff. Realistically, we're not going to the playoff. Okay, so how much of the pie do I save for other sports? And by other sports, I mean men's basketball and at a few places, baseball. I don't give you any pie to anything else.
Yeah.
Nobody else gets any pie. They're the ones that have to figure out a way to go make a different something.
Which that answer pivots me in the next question.
Okay.
Last question for you. At what point do ADs start pivoting from football
to basketball and
baseball?
Well, when you make the determination that you're just not pretty enough to get invited to that pageant.
There are teams that fit this criteria.
Yes. I mean, it's hard, right? It's looking in the mirror and going, all right, they're having a sexiest man competition. I'd really love to be in that competition because that means I'm one of the sexiest men. But I'm not. And that's hard, right? To go, I can't. I'm never going to make the top 12 of that competition. There's too many. Look at all the beautiful women. Look at all the sexy guys. Whatever you want to use. I'm never going to make the top 12. And to scratch in this competition, I got to be top 12. Because in football right now, you don't have to make the top 12 every year, Tyler. But if you're not a consistent perennial contender for the top 12,
You're wasting time.
You've got decisions. You have decisions to make.
All right, so let me ask you this, and this is what I was getting at with this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We talk about all the time. What is the amount of money that it takes to be competitive in football? We've said anywhere between 8 and whatever, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's as low as 8, but I don't think 8 does it anymore. It's 12 to 15, and you wonder, does that number go up? Now, that number might come down because, look, there's a lot of schools that are super invested in it right now that when the wins don't happen, because, look, not everybody's going to make it. I mean, how many programs would you say right now are pretty damn committed to competing for the playoff?
Committed to doing it?
Committed to competing for the playoff, like really serious about it.
I'd say
it's not just lip service.
I'd say 20.
Okay, so 8 of those 20 aren't going to make it.
Yeah.
And so when you don't make it, you got to assess why. And then you have fans who are going to say, well, man, I gave you a lot of money. You didn't make it. I'm miserable. The people in my life hate me for giving the money to that. I can't do it again. I can't do it this year. And so suddenly you're not as competitive, right? I mean, it's not going to be a static deal. There will be programs that are competitive one year that kind of aren't realistically the next. But as a rule, the question you have to ask yourself is, and it goes back to your first question. So this is where the two questions overlap.
Yeah.
If our goal is legitimately to be a playoff contender, to be one of the 20 teams that have a legitimate shot at one of the 12 spots, how much pie do we have to give? Because at some of those places, the answer is the whole pie.
Yeah.
The whole pie. Every bite of it.
Because the collective and the top 20 don't match all the time.
Yeah. So if the answer is the whole pie, then the rest of that answer is the rest of those sports, man. What you tell the coach is you're on your own. You can't have any of that pie. You got to go make some pie, which means that coach is going to do two things. One, he's either going to get frustrated and start using it as a, quote, excuse, even though it's valid. Or two, he's going to make his own pie. He's going to win, and he's going to haul ass because he's not going to stay, right? And then there are some programs that are probably going to look at this and go, okay, how do we do this gracefully? But is there a way for us to win 7.5 games a year in football? Be competitive enough that our fans are somewhat engaged, and then let's take that money and let's be a force in these other sports. Let's be a beast in football, in men's basketball, in baseball. That let's turn February through June into a time that our fans are pretty pumped about what's going on in our athletics program. Enough to overcome September, October, November, December, when there's a certain degree of disappointment that yet again, we're not a contender for the playoff.
And the reason I say this is I was sitting here thinking about this weekend. Take somebody like Vandy, okay? Let's just take Vandy. How much money?
It's Mariucci, by the way. It's not Deemer or whatever, but as Drew says, the point holds. I mean, you have a company funding everything.
How much money would it take for Vanderbilt to become a player in SEC football? Let's be honest.
$20 million.
Okay.
15 to 20 million.
All right.
I mean, you can buy the players.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question. If you're an SEC team and I gave you $4 million for football, what would your record be?
In the league?
No, just what would your record be?
I mean, I don't know.
6-6?
6-6, 5-7.
What if I gave your basketball coach $4 million to do 13 players?
We're competing.
Big time competing.
Oh, no.
Like you're going to get everybody.
We're a second weekend team with a chance to go to the Final Four.
Do you see what I'm getting at here?
Yeah, of course. Absolutely.
So if I'm a team that's I'm struggling every year to get $8 million. What if you give a baseball team $4 million?
Yeah, no. I mean, you're LSU.
And so my point is this: you can go fund two sports.
Yes. The question is, can you do it well enough that in the middle of October, when you are no longer a contender for the playoff, your fans are happy enough that they'll come to your games?
Yeah.
Like people do this at Kentucky. People do this at Arkansas, at South Carolina. And you ask those questions. And here's the question. At any of those places, middle of October, you're at South Carolina. You've already got 3 losses. You're not making the playoff. You're going to be damn good in basketball, and maybe you just went to Omaha. Is that enough? Is that enough in this football? And we live in a, right now, football crazy world.
Yeah.
The NFL,
I love it too.
The NFL gets gazillion numbers, and college football is the only thing in all of sport that competes. I mean, everything else has become niche. Like you just said it a minute ago. You're a college basketball junkie.
Yeah.
And you really just start, I know you had the betting thing.
Yeah.
But you really, if it weren't for the betting thing, this would be about the time that you actually really started watching it.
Yeah, right.
Well, that's middle of February.
Yeah.
So you're only a relevant sport for about 6 weeks. When do people not, who aren't like me, I'm an NBA junkie, I watch it. But when do most people say, you know what, I'll kind of keep up with the NBA? Late April.
Yeah, right after March Madness.
To the NBA Finals. People watch playoffs. Charles and them are funny after the games, and you get to see drama, 7-game series. You know, everybody loves Game 7. You get some of those. When is Major League Baseball truly relevant? Not to people like you and me who follow a team really closely. When the postseason? People watch the postseason when it doesn't interfere with football. When is football relevant? The whole damn year. So that's your question as an AD. There's the rational, because rationally, if I'm like Arkansas, Kentucky, if I'm rational, screw it. I don't care about football. Let's get $5 million for basketball. We'll be competitive. Everybody's gonna love it. We'll get massive crowds. Bud Walton will be
$5 million for 13 players.
Bud Walton's gonna be rocking. We're gonna go to the tournament. It's gonna be super fun. I mean, they did. The last 3 years, they went to 2 Elite Eights and a Sweet 16. And I mean, obviously, I've got kids there, and my kids who aren't sports fans were super into it. So everybody's into it. You can't get a ticket. People are camped out for days to get in, the whole deal. That's exciting. And in baseball, you pack it out all the time. And you've seen that at Ole Miss, right? Where you get the big crowds, and it's really big for morale and around town and all that stuff. But what happens in football season when you're not invested in it and you just get skull drugged week after week after week? I don't know that it really works. And so that's the crazy part about all this NIL stuff, that if you're in one of those rooms making these decisions, it's you can make a rational decision, except sports aren't rational.
Right. I guess that's my point. Is like, if you're in a league, and I guess that's why I use Vandy. Okay, you're in the SEC. You're getting your SEC check, whether they go 0-12 in football or they go 12-0. They're getting the same cut from the TV.
They might be the one exception. Their fan base is so conditioned to the losing that I don't know that they really care, as long as they're competitive in the other. I mean, Corbin's done a fantastic job with their baseball.
And they're not, and in the Cooper Chevrolet chat, Craig Bowen brings up a good point. I had thought about that. I didn't bring it up earlier, but baseball doesn't pay the bills. You know, baseball barely breaks even at a great school.
Yeah.
But basketball can make a little money.
But we're talking about morale here, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking about fans.
You're paying for morale
being
anyway.
happy.
That's what NIL is.
Yeah. I mean,
it's just, I don't know. I think it's hella cheaper, and you're spending, if you're spending $8 million to win 8 games.
Because if it's just money, I mean, all you really want to do with just money is just be competitive.
Yeah. I mean, people are spending $8 million to win 8 games. All right. So, but if you take half of that and go win a damn national championship in basketball, that just, I'm with morale. I don't know. That's part of me thinks that it could be better. All right, Neal, a couple more things and we'll get you out of here today. I thought this was one of the most interesting things that barely got covered this weekend. I think this happened on Friday or Saturday. Jimmy Garoppolo gets suspended for 2 games for PEDs. Okay.
I knew he was pumping. Look at that guy. I mean, the guy's.
It wasn't steroids.
Oh.
It wasn't steroids. They won't say what it is. They would just said it wasn't steroids. They just said it was something that he needed a prescription for and he didn't have it. Okay. And I was like, when I looked at that, I didn't really think anything of it until I saw an article come out and I read about it. How about this? Because he failed the drug test, the Raiders can now release him without penalty.
Ooh.
And they will before March the 1st.
For sure.
That decision cost him $11.25 in base salary next year, and he was to get an $11.25 million roster bonus on March the 1st. That was a $22.5 million mistake. And look, he's going to play somewhere next year.
Oh,
he'll go be a backup somewhere.
Oh, no, he'll get a contract.
The Falcons will probably be in line going, hey, ho, woo, woo, woo.
Yeah.
You know, but.
Yeah, he'll get some of it back, certainly. But yeah.
Man, I know I shouldn't say this, and this is all allegedly and all that stuff. In the current world that we're involved in my conspiracy theory brain.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't it make you wonder if somebody was like, hey, Doc.
Are you about to say you think Garoppolo killed Kennedy? Son of a bitch.
He was there. But it makes you think.
Does he have an alibi?
I think so. I don't think he was a glimmer in his daddy's eye in November of '63. I don't think he was a.
Do you think he's covering for his father?
Ooh, could be, maybe. But doesn't it make you think like somebody was like, hey, Doc.
I mean, Ted Cruz's dad. You know?
Hey, Doc, why don't you slip him some of this right here?
Oh, sure.
Hey, he'll just get suspended 2 games. But hey, we can get out of this contract.
You'd like to think that no doctor would be that unscrupulous, but then again.
But then again, Neal, this is America.
We're just 4 years removed from the vaccine.
Have I mentioned to this episode yet is brought to you by the Biden?
It is.
Biden-Harris 2024. Go get them, kids. All right. All right. The last part, we're going to finish this up with a little betting stuff.
Next up on the show, it's the Vice President of the United States, Kamala Harris.
Did I tell you that Fauci's going to join us live on Thursday?
Is he?
Yeah, I forgot to tell you that earlier. All right. Completely ruining my golf weekend that I was so excited about. So I had a win bet on Jordan Spieth. He decided to sign for a wrong scorecard on Friday and gets disqualified from the tournament.
How's that happen?
I don't know. I mean, I know it happens. It doesn't happen very often. But between him and the caddy, somebody screwed it up. But he wrote down a 3 instead of a 4 on the hole. And he gets disqualified. And he was like, I don't know, 4 or 5 shots off the lead going in. I was kind of, okay, I got a shot here. Because Cantlay shit the bed yesterday. So, if he'd have played, he probably would have been in. He'd definitely been in contention. And then Tiger withdrew, which I've never been so excited for somebody to have the flu in my life. I was really down Friday afternoon, man. I was really down. I moved desk upstairs, turned on. I was doing some man stuff, assembling and disassembling some things, and had it on. And all of a sudden, he hops on the golf cart, and goes in. And I'm like, he's hurt again. His first tournament back, but he disqualified for illness. I think he was shitting himself. I think he had the flu. So he did not look well.
Yeah,
he did not look healthy. As far as being sick,
it happens.
But he withdrew, so that killed all of my fantasy and bets for the weekend because I had the Tiger top 20 bet. He wouldn't have made it anyway. All right, last thing, and it's about to come on here in 3 minutes. So I was
literally about to flip for you.
It's going to be on Fox. All right, so you got 3 minutes to place your bets. This is what I'm doing for Daytona 500, which is coming on in 3 minutes. Probably should have started the show with this. I have 4 win bets for $10 a piece. That's what I usually do for the races. These are total crapshoots, so I'm taking odds. I got Tyler Reddick and Christian Bale both for plus 1,800.
Okay.
They actually both won the dual races on Thursday.
Is that JJ's brother?
No, that is not JJ. This is Tyler. He's about 4 foot shorter than JJ.
Okay.
This guy's like 5'1". He's short. All right, but he's also on the show, by the way.
Okay.
But they both won the race. They'll have good track position to start. So I got them at plus 1,800. I got Michael McDowell at plus 2,200. He's a former winner. He's in a Ford. They're very strong. He raced well the other day. He looked good. I watched the race for that. And then my flyer, great odds. Could not pass this up. I got Austin Dillon, past winner at Daytona. I got Austin Dillon at plus 5,000. So if you got any, if you're a Realtree fan, if you're a Bass Pro Shops fan, we need Austin Dillon to win this race for plus 5,000 odds for your boy.
Okay.
If Austin Dillon wins this thing, you'll hear me screaming from down across town. I got him at plus 5,000 for Austin Dillon. So
what car's he in?
He is in the number 3.
Is that a Ford?
He is in a Chevy.
In a Chevy.
Yep. Richard Childress Chevy.
Okay. All right.
There's the Bass Pro Shops. He does Realtree. He does it all. He is a really he's not on this show. He's on there's another show that he has. He has his own reality show on the channel on I think USA Network.
Okay.
But I like Austin Dillon, and he ate pizza at my favorite pizza place back home, so I like him. But it's a complete crapshoot, so just go for odds if you're betting Daytona. It just got pushed back, he said. My man
really?
Tupelo Reb said, how did it get pushed back? It hadn't been raining all day.
I don't know.
What are we doing, Neal?
Maybe the track's wet.
I mean, come on. That's fine. You got time to get your bets put in if it got pushed back. We'll see in a second. All right. And we're going to end this bad boy with Criteria Club, Neal. Okay. Criteria Club continued his hot streak till Saturday. And then your good friend Chase Parham. Okay. So we hit our morning bet. And Chases have been a Criteria Club lingerer.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
He's been like keeping track. And just like a lot of these people, they start seeing us win. They're like, hey.
He's been window shopping.
He's been window shopping.
Okay.
He hasn't been a member of Criteria
Hadn't
Club.
come in and bought the clothes.
Hasn't bought the clothes.
Okay.
He watches everybody else walk out with nice new clothes. And he's like, man, I surely like that.
I don't know. Do I want to spend on that? I don't know. Yeah. I'm indecisive.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, PC Rebel in the Cooper Chevrolet chat says there's a fuel dump on the track. We need to get that cleaned up.
Can't have that.
I never will forget. You may actually remember this. I was actually here when we came from Arkansas State with Freeze.
Yeah.
That Daytona got postponed too. I was all fired up because we had some off time. I got home, got back to the condo in time to watch Juan Pablo Montoya in the
Who could ever forget?
In the caution lap, run into the back of the jet dryer. Just didn't even see it.
Oh, boom. That
blew it up.
That messed up a car.
It'll ruin your day. All right. But Chase is window shopping. And you know what? We won the morning bet.
Mm-hmm.
Cashed it easy. Not one game was all of them were double digits.
Yeah.
I mean, just cruising.
Attaboy.
Easy money. It was like plus 200, right at plus 200. Easy money. 14 parlay. And then Chase, we're rolling with a second one.
Mm-hmm.
The second parlay is just rolling along. Stephen F. Austin has a 16-point lead at home.
The Jacks.
Yeah. The Lumberjacks.
Mm-hmm.
They are located in Nacogdoches, Texas, in case you're curious.
I'm aware.
Not Natchitoches. No, to be confused with my
Northwestern State.
Forkham Demons.
The Demons.
Alumni. Got my graduate degree from there. Master's in education.
Right?
Sure do.
How about that?
I have a master's in education.
You and I both have master's degrees from directional schools in Louisiana.
Hey.
No wonder this show is so good.
That is the secret sauce.
There it is.
So Chase hops on. He's like, all right, I've seen enough. I'm going to partake in the Criteria Club. From that moment on, the Stephen F. Austin Lumberjacks decided to drop a 16-point lead with 8 minutes to play. And then the night parlay just got crushed before it got started. So since Chase has joined on, I don't know if he's got in the bad luck or what he's doing. We got to figure it out. However, with that being said, never fear, we have Criteria Club for this evening. Here is the official Criteria Club picks for tonight's games. We're taking Howard. Okay, this is all money line.
Howard.
This is a 14 parlay. We're taking Howard.
Okay.
We're taking Delaware State.
Delaware State, baby.
We're taking the Texas Longhorns.
Hook 'em.
And we're taking the Houston Cougars.
My son, he bees a Coug.
Okay, that will pay you 177 plus 177. I'm going in for 1 unit. If you want to go like a small unit and you want to get crazy, because we got some people that like you post the parlay games and with the Criteria Club games and without doing research, they want to put in like 13 team parlays and stuff. If you want to get crazy, you can add 2 more. You can add Jackson State,
the Tigers,
and Maryland Eastern Shore,
the Shoremen.
That will be a 16 parlay.
I'm not sure what Maryland Eastern Shore is.
I have no idea. Like I look at their logo, I don't know what the logo is. At plus 432.
Where's Howard? Is that in D.C.?
It's somewhere up there.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly the town, but it's up there somewhere.
Okay.
But the official picks is Howard, Delaware State, Texas, and Houston at plus 177. I'm going to do it for 1 unit. But this is basically how it works. And just so everybody knows, like, oh, how you do that? If you go in 1 unit but you got to be consistent with the amount you bet. You don't just win and then dump it all in the next one. I'm sure people do that. But like, let's say I win today and I lose tomorrow. I'm still have a 77% return on my investment. Mm-hmm. And you never lose, like you always have a winning record. So you just keep building the bankroll. So there's no need to like get crazy with it. Just stay consistent and do what you do in the Criteria Club. Same unit today that you're going to bet tomorrow and just let your bankroll build.
Gotcha.
And I can't wait till tournament time because I'm curious how it works out on neutral courts. I want to expand my research.
Oh, you will.
I want to expand my research.
Neutral courts things get a little squirrely.
Yeah, and then so in this Mondays are slow, Fridays and Sundays are slow, but Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday are bigger days for the Criteria Club. And when you have a ton of games, you can even narrow it down more this late in the season because they've probably already played.
Right.
And so if a team goes and beats somebody on the road and they fit the criteria at home, they're probably going to win.
Yeah.
But if they lose on the road,
you should leave it alone.
I kind of just let it play because it could be a matchup. Could
be a matchup thing.
I kind of let it hold. Kind of let it play.
Okay.
So, Neal, I guess we got like 4 minutes. All right. This happened after I did the outline for today. I could not help but bring it up. I was really confused. So Friday, and I may mispronounce his name, so forgive me, George Klykov gets let go as the commissioner of the Pac-12. He gets shown the door.
Mm-hmm. Kind of had a rough tenure.
Well, I didn't know if he got shown the door or he showed himself the door, because I was like,
I didn't. When
I saw it come across the ticker, I was just like, oh, I think he just didn't have a job because there's no more Pac-12. That's what went through my mind.
Okay.
And then I'm just making our little outline today, right at lunch. I'm looking and my phone dings, and I look over at it, and it says, Teresa Gould announces the new commissioner of the Pac-12. I said, huh? I didn't know there was a Pac-12 left. And you can't make this up. When you read the press release, it says she's going to be the first female commissioner of an Autonomy 5 conference. Has anybody let them know yet? Has anybody told them yet?
I mean, listen, I'm going to give as someone who has some experience in marketing and public relations, and that is excellent spin.
Has nobody told them yet?
Hey, look.
Hey, 10 of your 12 are no longer there.
I mean,
you're no longer in the Power 4.
Still have 2. Got the Beavs and the Cougs.
Is this a pride thing? Like,
no, it's a legalese. They're trying to hang on to the brand and hope that there's a new cycle here soon where they take a bunch of Mountain West and whatever.
So they have a football deal with the Mountain West Conference, and they have a basketball deal with the West.
Well, and they still have some naming rights, and they still have some network rights, and I mean, it's just a way to hold on to a little bit of money and hope that the fortunes turn.
Yeah, but I didn't think anybody and it's like somebody forgot to let them know that, hey, I wouldn't look, if I was Teresa, I would not look for Greg Sankey to be calling her on the phone asking to come join the alliance anytime soon.
They must be about to get started. They're singing the anthem.
Well, we got to get the fuel out of there, so that fuel will dry fast. They're getting ready to go. It's sunny, clear skies. There's Harrison Burton, Chase Elliott.
Yeah.
We got to get you a driver. There's Ryan Blaney. We got to get you a driver.
He's doing well.
They most always do.
Yeah.
Do you know what the shocking thing is when you go to a race and you get to be by the drivers? It will blow your mind how short they are.
Yeah.
I mean, I look like I'm a center on a basketball. If I played on a NASCAR basketball team, I'd be playing the 5. I'm talking about there is some certified card carrying midgets out there, and I'm also a card carrying midget. There is some short dudes out there. I'm talking about like short. They'd blow your mind.
So you're saying some of these ladies are in it for the money? Is that what you're getting at?
They did not. Hey, they just love their short kings. You know what I mean? They just like those short guys. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Now you'll see somebody like Michael Waltrip, and Michael Waltrip's like 6'5". He looks like Jolly Green Giant out there. But like Dale Jr. was like 5'10", 5'11".
Yeah.
He looked tall. But like Jeff Gordon, Tyler Reddick, there's some short dudes out there, man. In real life, I like it. I'm talking about some short dudes. So it's like, they don't like that guy right there. You see him? He's like, that was Tyler Reddick. It's AJ Allmendinger. We're gonna get you right. We're gonna get you knowing all of them. You just got to pick a driver. That's what you got to do.
Okay.
We don't pull for AJ Allmendinger because he's not. We got to pull for Tyler Reddick.
Okay.
All right. This is who we got to pull for today. Tyler Reddick. We got to pull for Austin Dillon. We also got to pull for Ty Gibbs.
Okay.
And then Riley.
Is he related to Joe Gibbs?
He is. This is his grandson.
Oh, how about that?
His dad owns Joe Gibbs owns Gibbs Racing.
Yeah.
He's got 4 cars in it.
How about that?
And then he's on the show.
Joe Gibbs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Won a Super Bowl.
He did. Yeah. And then Riley Herbst, because they are driving. We have 3 monster cars in the race tonight. So that's why you got to pull for the monster cars.
Okay, I'll pull for monster cars. Sure.
So that's all we got.
All right. Speaking of monster, this show, like all McCready and Siskey shows, brought to you by Rain Total Body Fuel, 300 milligrams of natural caffeine, BCAAs, electrolytes, 0 sugar. It's got what you need to push the limits and achieve your goals. So check them out on Instagram at Rain Body Fuel to learn more. For Tyler Siskey, I'm Neal McCready. We'll be back on Thursday with episode 154 of McCready and Siskey. Until then, have a great week. Talk to you soon. Bye.